Hello there, everyone. Ashnflash here, and I guess this is kind of a solo Ashencast, or just, I guess, a podcast review of my thoughts on the Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. And I've kind of been sitting on this and just thinking more and more about it, and I just have a lot to say about it. And I was actually fortunate enough, Warner Brothers allowed me to attend the Canadian premiere in Toronto for the movie on Wednesday, and I didn't want to record it right away. I wanted to kind of think and stew about it a bit, like I kind of did with Joker specifically, was another one that I just kept thinking about afterwards. But anyways, I'm not going to go non-spoilers or spoilers. I personally, I guess, like the movie. If you want to hear why, and if you have seen the movie, I'd recommend hopping off if you haven't. Also, this is an R-rated movie, so if you're a kid, don't watch this. Like, there's a ton of swearing, violence. I'd say it's like the same as like TV, but we'll get to that in a bit. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's talk about the good and then the bad. So first of all, I just have a bunch of points that I want to talk about. The good, the first thing that I have listed here is Black Mask. He's one of my favorite Batman villains, and I really love it when we get obscure characters like this on the big screen. Specifically, seeing him for the first time was something really special and unique, and to have Ewan McGregor play him, I thought was just beyond special. Like, I genuinely, every single time that he was on screen, I thought that he just stole every single scene that he was in. I thought that was really great, and DC fans and just comic book fans in general, I genuinely think that you can't please them at all. Like, as I was waiting for the end credits scene to roll around, you just hear behind me, this is what I heard. I heard, man, I wish he wore the mask more. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking back to when we first heard that he was cast in the role, and when we first started seeing the posters and stuff, I myself was really worried that it was just going to be he's playing Roman seances, and he's not going to be wearing the black mask at all in the movie. But then when we started seeing the trailers, and even in the movie, I thought that he wore it the right amount, I would say. And it made sense for him too. Like, when he was really pissed off and he needed to send a message, that's when he's wearing the mask. So I really did enjoy that. And, there's just no pleasing people. Like, it was, they were sad that he didn't wear it enough. Meanwhile, we thought that he wasn't going to wear it at all. So it's just funny, there's no pleasing people. But next I have Harley. I have a really interesting relationship, I'd say, with Harley, and specifically, I first was, of course, introduced to her from Batman the Animated Series, which is where, she first originated from, and where this comic book character has blown up into popularity. But I've always loved her design and everything, and she's always been funny and charming in whatever she pops up in. And specifically, when I had the opportunity, I've talked about this before, but I got to go on the actual, I guess, set of Suicide Squad when they were filming that here in Toronto. They were filming the car chase scene with the Joker in his purple Lamborghini with Harley in the seat. Margot Robbie wasn't there on the day that my dad and I got to see them filming it, but still, that movie has a really special place in my heart. And specifically, like, I've always loved Harley, and I think that genuinely, I think that what was done in Suicide Squad, that relationship between the Joker and Harley, I know you might not agree with me, but I really thought it was well done, and I quite loved their relationship, regardless of what you think of that movie. I really enjoyed it, and so did a bunch of other people, because it is one of the biggest openings, or I guess highest grossing summer blockbuster films of all time. So, but anyways, it did make more than Joker, which is an Academy Award nominated movie. Anyways, I won't go into there just yet. But yeah, Harley was really great in this. She was really funny. And it was just, she I guess felt like an extension of the character. But yeah, her performance, as always, I think is really great. I would love to see her in more things, which we'll talk about in a bit in the bad of this movie. But moving on, I just want to talk about Gotham. The Gotham here, I believe, is better than the one in Joker. And now you probably just clicked off the video. But honestly, in Joker, where were the iconic places that we went to? The Arkham Institute or whatever they called it? I don't even remember. Here it's like, yeah, by the way, I worked at Arkham Asylum. And yes, it might have been shown only in cartoony form or whatever, but it was still good to see, as well as just her referencing certain things, like the East End, and it felt more grounded. Going to Ace Chemicals specifically, that's something iconic and important to me when it comes to the Joker and Harley. So to have that scene, of her blowing it up and cutting the ties with Joker, I thought was really important. And but just being able to see Ace Chemicals rather than having something like the amusement mile painted on graffiti or something in the background in the Joker movie, but to actually go to amusement mile in here and what was it, Founders Pier and all that stuff, like going to these places, I think meant a lot more in my opinion, like than having it referenced or something. And also I heard people behind me, the same sort of people I think it was, they're like, I really like the Gotham in Joker more. I'm like, really? You liked that it was riddled with garbage and that it was piling up and all that, and you enjoyed that aesthetic more? Okay, that's fine, I guess. I mean, Gotham's always run down and everything, but yeah, it was weird to see it in the daytime. I did think that was a little strange in this movie, but next I have Victor Zsasz written as a good thing. I was really worried that they weren't going to go as in depth, and I mean it might not sound good, but I really wanted to see the creepy, when you tune into like Criminal Minds or something, like it's like you could see him being one of the profiles that they're trying to find. And I really did love Victor Zsasz, and I thought that he was really, really creepy, and I was again, it sounds bad, but I was really happy to see when, he was about to kill Harley and he was showing her that he had all these scars of every single time that he killed, that he would, inflict a mark on himself. So that is something really accurate to the comics, which to me was just like almost a pat, like a pat on the shoulder, like, yeah, we did that. We did that for you. So I thought that was really great. And he was really creepy. Like it just, he was really hard to look at sometimes. But he was really, really good. And Huntress as well. I didn't think that her comedy necessarily landed. I think that she was trying to be a little too funny. But in terms of her story and everything, I thought that was told quite well. Even though I had already known it, I think that it was a good introduction into this world. I thought that was really good. And everyone knew who she was as well. Like, I like that. Equally so, like, everyone knows the Wayne murder, but they know about the Bertinellis and different things like that. So I thought that was really cool. I would have preferred if, maybe she was taking out some people who were more well known, like the Falcones or different things like that. But anyways, lastly, I have Bruce mentioned. I just love Bruce. The hyena was just really great. I was really emotional when he almost died. I genuinely was upset. Like, I was upset that they killed him like that as well, so abruptly. And yeah, that was an interesting turning point in the movie, I think. That was the only time that I really felt any emotion. I didn't really, this is going into the bad, I guess, but I didn't really feel for anything else, like with Cassandra Cain and all that. I don't know, I didn't specifically buy that, but jumping ahead here, the bad about this movie, I think that we skipped over a movie. I really do, and I think it has a lot to do with fan reception, unfortunately. I think that a Joker and Harley movie was probably needed between this one. I unfortunately, I think it could have benefited from it. And the reason I say that, and I guess it kind of applies to this movie, but in my mind, I'm comparing it to the show, which is a lot worse, I'd say, maybe not in terms of swearing. There was so much swearing in this, but graphic. It's a cartoon show, so they're able to do a lot more, obviously. But I compare it to the show, and I think the show does such a great job at having it exist in this DC world with iconic people and being able to see Harley, I guess, make fun of the Justice League and the Legion of Doom and different things like that. And in my mind, I guess I found myself comparing it to that. And I don't know if I should be doing that, but to me, the movie here pales in comparison to the show. It's just, and a large, large part of that has to do with the Joker and Batman, which is one of the reasons why I don't like the Joker movie. It's because Batman's not in it. One of the reasons I don't really, I don't not like this movie, but I look at this and I think I would have loved to see the abusive relationship between Joker and Harley, and to the show does it so well like she's an addict. I guess they kind of talk about it in this movie, and I guess the only other sort of maybe part that I felt emotion for Harley when she was talking to Black Canary about, do you know what a Harley Quinn is? And I didn't realize that they're meant to serve their master. So she doesn't have Joker, then what does she have? So that was kind of interesting to me. That was the only part, but they needed to go further. They needed to have, like, on the show, this person trying to say, like, Ivy on the show, don't go back to him. He's this abusive jerk. Like, but there just wasn't really any tension for her to, dedicate her whole life to him, which you see in Suicide Squad, and you even see it in the clips that they play for this movie. To have it go from, whatever their dispute was, which I personally would have liked to know, to have her thrown out on her face, and we don't really get any explanation. We don't get anything her trying to win him back or anything. Or what I also like about the show is that she's trying to one up him. She's trying to impress him and show that she can do this on her own. So I think that that's something that this movie falls really flat on. Also, this is taking place in Gotham. Where's Bruce Wayne? Where's Batman? There's a lot of stuff here that I'm like just kind of disappointed. Like, where are they? I just found that, I don't know, like they kept, I guess, referencing the Batman. Oh, I was captured, whatever. So to me, that was pretty disappointing. And I also have no iconic DC characters. While I really love Black Mask being in this movie, he probably could have been more of a side character, and having like Oswald Cobblepot or someone bigger, I guess, actually being the villain would have been a lot better in my opinion. I think it would have just benefited to have someone more with a name value, and that would bring in a lot more people as well. Like, oh yeah, the Penguin, I remember him from Batman Returns and different things. But yeah, I think Harley, unfortunately, I think she is very popular. I just don't know if she can carry her own movie as of yet, I would say, and that's kind of evident with the numbers here, which I think, yeah, I think Joker needs to be in it. I really do. It's like same thing with Joker. It's like Batman needs to be in that, and then with Harley here, it's her movie. Which is what I have next. Black Canary. She was spoiled in the trailers of her having powers. We literally saw the Canary cry. The big reveal that people cheered for some reason in my audience. I'm like, she's like, we knew this was gonna happen. Oh, I have no ammo. Like, it was really predictable, and that was supposed to be the aha moment. Like I guess to make it equivalent to the Avengers, I think. I think the moment was supposed to be like when the Hulk goes, "I'm always angry," and punches the big Leviathan. It's the same sort of thing here, but I'm like, we already know that. That car chase, forgot to say, that was really great. I didn't say this before. The choreography in this was fantastic. I think that it was stuff that's never been done before on rollerblades, and just some of the stuff that she did with the bat and the hammer. Like, that was really that was genuine fun. Like, it was so much fun to see, and that fight chase between Huntress pulling her on the rollerblades and all that. That was my favorite part of the movie. I think that was really, really so much fun. I genuinely so great. And then next I have here Cassandra, Cain, and Renee, Montoya. They're boring and unnecessary and grounded characters. And what I mean by that is they were kind of just there along for the ride to kind of ground these, I guess, big and fantabulous characters. They kind of just grounded them, and I think in some ways really pulled them down. Like, I think it would have been so much fun to just have, I don't know, like, I think it would have been more interesting to see these, I don't know what I'm trying to say with this. It's just, they didn't really do anything for me. I didn't feel any emotion between Cassandra and Harley, and not really sure why this old cop is there and what she really did for anything, like, while they were fighting and everything. It's just really weird to me. And she was drunk too. Like, it was, anyways, that whole side plot was really weird. Yeah, and unnecessary R rating. This movie really could have benefited if it wasn't R rated. I truly believe that. I think that, it makes no sense continuity wise. Harley was in the last movie, she never said a single f-bomb, and then in Suicide Squad, I'm gonna guess that's not gonna be R-rated, so she's not gonna be swearing in that. When she shoots someone, there's not gonna be as much blood or whatever. Like, it's like the Batman cut, the Batman v Superman cut, where they added like extra blood or whatever when he punches people up against the wall. It's unnecessary. Like, to me, I look at this movie and I walked out of it having fun. Like, it was genuine fun. I really believe that. I think that it was more fun than Joker, and Joker was so long and took so long to get started, in my opinion. So with this, I think it was just right off the bat. You're having fun. You're seeing her, like, the choreography in this was really, really fantastic, and yeah, it was so unnecessary, and the swearing as well. It was so much, and why? Like, if it was PG-13, so many people would have loved to go see this. Like, genuinely loved to. People loved Harley and Suicide Squad, but now you've got all these people that can't because it's R-rated. And I'm just sitting here like, you really could have cut back. And going forward, with her being in the Suicide Squad movie, it's like, it chronologically doesn't make sense to me. And yeah, I don't really have too much more to say about this. I really did enjoy it, and it was more fun than Joker. And I like to use the expression coined by Martin Scorsese about the Marvel films and how they're just amusement parks or amusement rides or whatever it was. That's what this movie was. It was really fun, and I don't necessarily agree with people saying that the timing was a lot of fun with the jumping back and forth between time. I think that it could have benefited from a more steady sort of narration. I think we didn't really need that, but yeah, I am really excited about the future of this character, and it seems like critically this is doing really well. And I just really want more Harley. I really do. I'd love to see Jared Leto give it another crack, because really, I personally believe whatever you think about him, I like, whether if I like him or not, I personally believe we have not seen enough of him to give a fair judgment. Like, I that's just what I think. I think that he had so much cut out. He was in that movie for maybe 5 minutes or something like that. And it's just, we really need more of him. And we need just a good Batman, Joker, Harley movie. And I think that the DC animated movies, and I guess the show right now as well, it's just, those are where the best stories are being told, unfortunately, for the DC universe. And if you're just a casual DC fan, and you kind of want to learn more, I really, really recommend checking out all of the animated movies, the Justice League ones specifically. They tell some excellent stories. The Batman Assault on Arkham tells an excellent story for the Suicide Squad and Harley. That is probably the best one out there, better than the movie, I'd say, the actual live action one. So yeah, here's my definitive ranking. I'm saying this publicly now, and if you agree, let me know. If you don't, too bad. But number one for me was Aquaman. I really firmly believe that has been my favorite one in this, maybe best DC movie ever. I have to rewatch it, but coming out of it, I just loved it. It was the most comic booky, I would say. It felt really accurate. And then next is Suicide Squad, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate. Maybe it doesn't belong that high up there, but it is really special to me, and it does have a lot of great moments in there. It really does, and I'll stand by it. I really do. I don't like the villain of it, but that's the other thing. They pulled a Marvel, and I'm really disappointed that they killed Black Mask and Victor Zsasz in this. It's just like, you introduce these characters like in Marvel, and it's like, oh, they're really great villains, and now they're dead. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I really would have liked to see Ewan come back and return and have the mask like smelted onto his head or something like that, so he couldn't take off that mask. But third, I have Man of Steel, and then fourth is Wonder Woman. Fifth is Shazam, Birds of Prey, Justice League, and Batman v Superman. Really hate that movie. I just really dislike it. But anyways, everyone, that's going to do it for this review slash, I guess, solo podcast of the Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. I'm personally more excited about the future, which is what Joker also left me feeling with. I was like, well, I'm more excited about seeing Bruce Wayne become Batman and seeing him go up against this Joker. For me here, it's like, I'm more excited about seeing Harley go forward and the Birds of Prey, and seeing maybe Joker be like, what, Harley did this? She took down Black Mask, and now there's just so many opportunities that you can go forward with this, and I think that a Gotham Sirens would be really great. I'd love to see her interact with like a Poison Ivy and a Catwoman, and have the Penguin be in the movie, have him be the villain. But it gets really confusing with the Batman movie coming out in 2021, so I'm not really sure what to expect with that. But anyways, everyone, what do you think of this video? What did you think of the movie? All of it, whatever I've said in this video, let me know down below in the comment section what you think of it. I would love to have discussion with you, the viewer, down below in the comment section. And I hope that you did enjoy this video, and I hope that you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.